Right. Hello. What we've got now, ladies and gents, is we've got the fire service arriving on scene, making the car nice and safe and stable to provide a platform where we can treat both patients simultaneously.
Everybody know what's happening? As soon as you're ready, you'll race the car. Same with you, medic. Let us know when you're ready. We'll lift the car and then you'll do it.
We've identified that the motorcyclist under the car is the most critically ill patient on scene, therefore we're focusing most of our resources on that patient. We still have a paramedic in the car providing inline neck stabilisation for that patient. So we've now removed the helmet from the patient. We've established that they've got some quite serious head injuries. They've got quite a lot of bruising around their head and neck and potentially down onto the chest. While maintaining stabilisation and keeping the head and neck in neutral alignment, we're going to get some oxygen on the casualty and we're going to work to free them. We've got the fire service gently releasing the casualty from underneath the car. It's all about teamwork at this point. Everybody needs to be communicating well with each other, making sure nothing changes with any of the casualties. Due to the nature and extent of the motorcyclist's injuries, a decision has been made to perform a rapid extrication from underneath the vehicle. We'll pull him out, be able to expose him and get hands on the casualty. We're bringing out the casualty from underneath the car. We're obviously maintaining the head and neck at a neutral position where possible. We're able to start repositioning the car on its blocks. It'll form a nice stable platform for extrication of the casualty inside the car. Going, ladies and gents. The reason we know this casualty is so poorly is he's not complaining as we cut his leathers off. Other things that will be going on while this is happening is making a decision about where this casualty needs to go to, where the most appropriate receiving hospital is going to be, and potentially warning them in advance of an inbound casualty with severe traumatic injuries. We've secured IV access to the patient, which will now enable us to give him decent pain relief, and we'll work our way down the body looking for signs of injury, deformity and other abnormalities.
What the fire service are doing now, as you can see, they're preparing the car ready to take the roof off. We've spoken to the medic and he's told us that he suspects that the driver's got a back injury. In order for us to get him out as quickly and as without causing him any more discomfort or injuries, our best option is to remove the roof, put him on an extrication board and bring him out the back of the car. So what the guys are doing now is just preparing. They're removing the glass and they remove the internal trim. We have a big problem with modern cars, all the airbags and things, because if we start cutting and banging around and the airbags go off and we're not ready for it, that can actually cause us injury and the people inside the car a bit more injury. So we always expose all the trim and have a look what's going on, isolate the batteries, and now we need to remove the windscreen. Now in order to do this, quite traumatic for the person inside the car, so we use a good old-fashioned saw, cut through the windscreen. The guys will work well together, one on this side and then they'll pass over and work to the other, cutting all the way through to the A-posts of the car. At the same time they're starting up the cutting equipment, ready to cut through the pillars of the car. You start to see them now. Inside you see the casualties covered up so that we don't actually cover them in glass dust or any of the shards of metal or anything while we're cutting through the car. So now the guys are going to work their way around the car carefully, liaising with the medic at all the time. Basically, we need to be able to get that casualty out instantly if we can. So we know we can get him out as quickly as we can, but if the medic tells us to do so. As it stands at the moment, the medic's happy, so we'll be working quietly and just steadily, ready to get him out.
Going back to the motorcyclist that you see in front of you, we've established that he's potentially got an unstable pelvis, and we put something that looks like a girdle on. That brings his pelvis together, keeps it in a nice stable position, helping to prevent further internal blood loss. We've got him positioned on a scoop stretcher, and we will be soon looking to load the casualty in the hospital and depart to the John Radcliffe. The casualty that's in the car is receiving appropriate medical treatment and reassurance. At all times, fire and medic need to be constantly aware of any change in the patient's condition and be able to react to it. For those of you that are motorcyclists here, this is where the green dot scheme comes in quite useful. Once we remove the patient's helmet, if there's any pertinent medical information contained within that, we can initiate treatment based on that, or we can withhold treatment based on that. So if they're allergic to certain things, we can make sure we don't give it to them. Fire Brigade now working their way around the car to release all the main posts and get ready to remove the roof. At all times, reassurance and treatment of the casualty inside ongoing. You can see this is a quick and easy way to turn a car into a convertible, but not recommended at the weekend. What you will notice that all movements and cuts are very controlled, well organised and well communicated. At this point, we're going to make the last cut on the frame of the car. Everybody's happy with where we're up to and what's going on. Last cut can be made and we can release the roof.